Two, one. Hey everyone, this is Bong from the NCDAA, and I'm back with you with another video. And today we're featuring Nick Bratcher, who is serving as one of our national leaders. Nick, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We really appreciate your time, and we really look forward to what you have to say. So Nick, if you wouldn't mind, introduce yourself. What are you currently doing in life, and what are you doing with the fraternity?
Okay, well, Bong, thanks for having me. My name is Nick Bratcher, and I'm the National Vice President for Programs for KKPsi. And as part of my professional life, I'm the Director of Bands and Assistant Professor of Music at Cal State University in San Bernardino, California.
Very cool. And so really, we're doing this video for the month of musicianship for November. So that's really going to be the main goal of this conversation. But I have a series of questions for you. Let's just start off pretty easy. If you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about your start with KKPsi.
Well, I started, it's actually really weird. Not so much, but I was actually going to the South Carolina Collegiate Honor Band. I was a student at the time at South Carolina State University. And one of my friends, upon my getting back from Greenville, South Carolina that year, they said, hey, have you thought about becoming a member of KKPsi? And I was like, KKPsi, I'd seen them around campus. I'd seen them doing like fundraisers and different service projects, but I never really inquired as to what it was. So I ended up going to an interest meeting and being, I guess, given a bid and invited to be initiated, and the rest is history. And that was in March of 2006.
Very cool, very cool. So let's take it a little bit farther back. How did you get your start with music and band?
Well, I think I got my start like most students. I started in middle school in 6th grade. Band was something that originally was not on my mind. It was kind of those transitions. I was going from 5th to 6th grade. And of course, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think the summer before I started 6th grade, I went up to my uncle's in Maryland. I have some family that live in Maryland, and he's a musician. He's a church musician. And so I saw an old clarinet laying around his house, and I asked him, could I play with it? And he ends up giving me the clarinet and says, why don't you do band in middle school? That'd be a good chance. And my parents are like, no, don't do that. Because of course, no one's really that good when they first start out. And so that would mean I'd have to practice. But after I got involved in band and started practicing and got better, then they realized it was, a really good investment. So it was
very cool.
From there.
So what instrument did you start with again, and what other instruments do you like to play or can you play?
Clarinet is my primary instrument. Mm-hmm. And then if there's a gig involved, I also play saxophone, so soprano, alto, tenor, bari, bass clarinet. So there are those things.
Awesome, very cool. Well, again, we wanted to focus on the month of musicianship, and I just wanted to give our viewers a sense and understanding of why we do it. So I wanted to ask you, Nick, in your opinion, why is the month of musicianship important, and why does KKPsi do it?
Well, the month of musicianship is really just an outlet for all the brothers to be able to engage in that part of musicianship. I know we do things with musicianship throughout the year, whether it be service projects to your bands or fundraisers to your bands, but really November is that time of the year to really focus on that aspect of one of our 3 pillars. So that could mean brothers going out to a public school and helping with their band program, or bringing music out to an elementary school, ushering at a concert that may not be their own within their music department, or maybe at a local community band somewhere if they have one of those, or engaging in a local community band. Just any kind of way to bring musicianship to their communities, to their chapters. And we kind of use November as that month to do so.
That's awesome. So what you said kind of clarified some things for me, and there was a lot of there I didn't know. So for me, you know, as an alumni now, I just kept thinking, you know, like musicianship, how do I get involved? And like, but I'll be quite honest, I haven't touched my flute or my piccolo in a long, long time. I think I
Mhm.
play it maybe twice a year during like the, you know, alumni band or some staff band that I play with. So it's good to hear that there are other ways that we can promote musicality, musicianship. So furthering this conversation, why do you think it's important that alumni members stay involved or maintain their musicianship?
Well, being an alumni member, that's the longest membership status that you'll have
Mhm.
in Kappa Kappa Psi. And so being in band, that's what brought you to Kappa Kappa Psi in the first place. Whether you were an engineering major or whether you were a music major, the thing that ties you is band and your love of band music. So I think just for me, being an alumni, finding as many opportunities as you can to continue with that is what's really fulfilling about being an alumni member of Kappa Kappa Psi. So, like I said earlier, whether you find a community band to do, or if you can go and help out giving lessons at a school that may not have the financial resources to hire like a part-time staffer or something of that sort. Um, I think those are just a couple of the ways alumni can get involved.
That's awesome. Well, actually, you kind of answered my next question here, which is you know, what are some ways that alumni can get involved? So I'll kind of change it up a bit. Nick, what are some of the most successful or interesting, exciting ways that you've seen in your experience with Psi and as an alumni? What are some of the coolest ideas that you've seen alumni do to keep involved in music?
Okay, well, some of the coolest things I've actually seen happen is that there are a couple of chapters in Georgia where their alumni actually come back and they provide receptions for their brothers' junior and senior recitals if they're music majors. There are alumni that come back and they play in their symphonic bands whenever there are instruments that are not readily available, so such as if you have any alumni that play double reeds or French horn or percussion. I've seen those people come back and play in those type of bands. I've seen alumni organize and I've seen alumni organize and present scholarships on behalf of students going to college and participate in music. We have a couple of alumni associations that do that, and it's phenomenal how they're able to do it and raise all of that money. So we've just there's some really good things going on out there as far as promoting musicianship, whether it be offhand financial promoting or actually going in and performing the music itself.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And yeah, those are some really creative ways to, honestly, a lot of them I've never thought of. So, and if you viewers out there, if you feel like that's something that you can adopt or at least just consider, I mean, I highly recommend just looking into it. I know that we sent out a survey just a while back for our NCDAA members asking for, you know, just their feedback. And, you know, there were mentions of, you know, we want to do more, you know, what things can the board present us with so that we can you know, stay in touch with the musicality side. So those are some really great ideas. Thank you, Nick.
Mm.
And even something I thought was really cool, something very, very new to me. My really good friend, Akila Thomas, shout out, she had asked me to join her and her sister at Bowl and Stroll and Battle of the
Uh-huh.
Bands in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And I think, I mean, it was definitely it's a very different experience. And it was just so amazing to see how involved the alumni association was down there in that region. So I think, you know, that's something that I think is that really anybody can accomplish if they really set their minds to it. Just really want to make sure that they stay involved in music. So very cool. Nick, I don't know if you can tell us anything about this. I don't know if it's top secret or not, but what are there any musical opportunities at NatCon this upcoming in at OSU?
Hmm. Um, I can't really say a lot on the subject yet. There's still a lot of finalizations going on with things.
Mhm.
I can say, however, that one of our biggest and probably the biggest musical ensembles that we have going on at NatCon, and of course, is our National Intercollegiate Band.
Mhm.
So I know that there are ways that alumni are being asked to support and help with that, not so far as playing within the ensemble itself, but maybe as far as supporting it through financial contributions and
Mhm.
things of that sort. And I'll leave that to the Alumni Association to roll out. I don't want to steal their thunder or anything. But while I was on the Alumni Association board last biennium, we were able to start the first annual KKPsi solo competition.
Mhm.
And from my understanding, that is to be continued at this year's national convention. So Dr. Erin Cooper, who is my successor in that role, will be organizing that. So I'm sure she'll do a great job. Shout out, Dr. Cooper. All right. So, but yeah, I would just really look for notifications from the Alumni Association. They've been doing a fantastic job with getting things organized and ready for NatCon, and I can't wait to see what they've got cooked up.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. And I just wanted to throw in another question here, if that's okay with you,
Yeah, sure.
not to put you on the spot. So I was just kind of thinking about, further programming that the NCDAA can do, and one of our components is professional development. And since we have a band director here, I wanted to ask you, for those for our members and our viewers who are music ed students who are going to be graduating it into the field soon, what is the best advice that you can give them?
I would say experience and resume building would be one of those things. So any kind of mentoring opportunities that you can give, whether you bring an experienced music educator in, whether that be K-12 college to come in and actually speak, maybe do like a conductor's workshop with them. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times what I've seen is that students who graduate from college and go out and become band directors, um, the only rehearsal techniques that they have are what they've received respectfully from their college band directors.
Mhm.
And, uh, being able to collect from a myriad of techniques has been really helpful to me. So having just like that mentor experience would really greatly benefit them. And then, of course, knowing how to put together a successful and professional looking resume that highlights your strengths and experiences for what you're trying to do, whether that be for elementary school music teaching or middle school band director, high school band director. And we actually have quite a few brothers who are very experienced at teaching through the K-12 level. Our national president has taught band at middle school and elementary school level. We have Brent Cannon, who is on the Alumni Association, who is a retired K through 12 band director
Mhm.
out in Texas. So
Okay.
we have so many people. Dr. Beeson, Mike Galimo, who's up in North Central District, and then not Mike Galimo, he's in Midwest. Sorry, the other the other Mike. Gosh, I cannot remember
Mike
his
Osborne?
Osborne. Yes, gosh, he's gonna kill me for that. Edit that part out, please. Mike Osborne's also a music educator. He's not retired, but he would be a wealth of knowledge, I'm sure, to have at any kind of session like that. But basically, like mentoring and resume experience would be one of the two biggest things for people
That's
just starting
awesome.
out.
That's very cool. Well, I'm sure that there are a lot more questions that people may have. So, Nick, if anybody is wanting to reach out in regards to just like maybe some mentorship or music ed questions, any questions about Month of Musicianship or just your role in KKPsi, where should they send you where should they send their questions to?
Well, if you have any questions about any of our programs or specifically about Month of Musicianship, you can email me directly at nbratcher@kkpsi.org, or
Mhm.
you can visit our website at kkpsi.org and look under the programs tab and click away.
Sounds good. And I'll make sure to not to confuse Nick and Robert again ever again in the future. I promise. I know you guys are parts.
It it happens. It happens so often. Like it happens. So I got an email once from what was it? I got an email from someone, and clearly the email was meant for Robert, but they sent it to me. And so I sent it back, and I was like, you probably mean Robert Bratcher at National Headquarters. They're like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. So I was like, yeah. It's fine. All the time. And people keep asking us, are you guys related? We don't know. We don't know.
Potentially. Well,
Potentially.
Stay tuned. Awesome, Nick. Well, thank you again so much for your time. We wanted just to, again, get you on the board so that we could get this video done and get this information out for November. So for those of you guys watching, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support with the NCDAA, and we'll look forward to making more videos for you guys. All right. Thank you so much.